It began like any other evening. We had dinner, settled onto the couch, and watched our favorite show. It was the kind of simple, peaceful evening that had become our routine after many years together. There were no signs of tension between us, nothing that hinted something might be off. But as we sat there, silently, I saw something in her eyes, something that didn't belong. It wasn't fear, but close to it. It was hesitation. Before we dive into this, please hit that subscribe button. It means the world to us and helps us bring you more amazing stories. She had always been open with me. Our marriage was founded on trust and honesty. In the past, whenever something was on her mind, she never hesitated to speak up. But tonight, there was a subtle distance between us. It wasn't much, but it was enough to make me question everything. She cleared her throat, pulling me from my thoughts. I looked at her, noticing how her fingers nervously tapped on the rim of her wine glass. Her brow furrowed slightly, like she was unsure whether to speak or not. I watched her closely, my instincts screaming that something wasn't right. "Do you remember my ex-fiancé?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. A sudden chill ran through me. The words hit me like a punch in the stomach. Her ex-fiancé, the man she had once been engaged to, the man who almost became her husband before I came into the picture. I occasionally thought about him, but I never dwelled on him. She always mentioned him briefly, as though he was a chapter in her life that was long closed. Why bring him up now? What about him? I asked, keeping my voice steady, though a knot began forming in my stomach. She hesitated, then looked down at her lap, avoiding my gaze. It was as if she couldn't bring herself to look me in the eye while she spoke. I could feel the weight of her silence pressing on me. I talked to him, she said softly, her words hanging in the air like a strange confession. I froze, unsure of how to respond. The room felt colder, the silence between us growing unbearable. My mind scrambled, trying to comprehend what she had just said. "You've been talking to him?" I repeated, trying to fully understand the magnitude of her words. She nodded, her voice shaky as she explained. "It started a few weeks ago. It wasn't much, just a few texts here and there, catching up, you know? But then, it became more. I needed to talk to him to understand what went wrong between us." I stared at her, struggling to find my voice. This was the last thing I expected. Why now? After everything we had built, why reach out to him now when we had a life together, a family? Her eyes filled with regret and shame. She bit her lip before continuing. "I didn't mean to hurt you. It wasn't like that. I wasn't looking for him. I wasn't trying to go back to him, I swear. I don't know. I guess I've been feeling lost lately. And talking to him, hearing his perspective, it made me question things about myself, about us." The room felt suffocating. I didn't know what to say. My mind couldn't make sense of it all. I had always believed our relationship was strong. We'd been together for so long, through so much. And now this. She was telling me she reached out to him, this man from her past, for closure. I didn't know if I could take any more of this. But she wasn't done. She reached out and touched my hand, her touch trembling slightly, but I couldn't bring myself to squeeze it back. "I met him," she said quietly, as if ashamed of the words. My stomach dropped. "You met him?" I echoed, disbelief thick in my voice. "You met him after all this time?" She nodded, her eyes brimming with tears. "It was just once, just to talk. I didn't know what I was expecting, but I needed to understand. I needed to know if I was truly over him, if I had missed something, if I was being unfair to you by carrying that old baggage around. I'm sorry. I never meant for it to go this far." I stood up abruptly, my legs shaking. The room felt smaller, like I was suffocating. "So you met him, and now you're telling me this?" My voice grew louder, more frantic. "Why didn't you tell me sooner? Why hide this from me?" Tears streamed down her face, but I couldn't look at her. I was too angry, too hurt. I didn't want to hurt you. I thought it would pass. I didn't want to tell you because I didn't know how to explain it. I didn't want you to think it meant something more than it did. It didn't mean anything. I wasn't trying to leave you. I shook my head, trying to process everything, but the flood of emotions overwhelmed me. She had been hiding this from me, lying in a way I didn't even know was possible. "Did you kiss him?" I asked, the question slipping out before I could stop it. I needed to know. I needed to understand how far this betrayal had gone. Her eyes dropped to the floor, and I saw the guilt and shame spread across her face. I didn't need her to say it. Her silence was enough. You kissed him, I repeated, my heart aching with every word. I never meant for it to happen, she sobbed, her voice breaking. It was a mistake, but it felt like something I couldn't control. I wasn't thinking, and I regretted it the second it happened. I swear I didn't want to hurt you. I took a step back, my whole body trembling. How could you do this to me? I whispered, my voice full of disbelief. How could you betray me like this? After everything we've been through. She reached for me, her hand trembling as she tried to touch my arm. But I pulled away. I couldn't let her touch me. Not now. Not after everything. You've hurt me, I said, my voice raw with pain. You've broken something inside me, and I don't know if I can fix it. The silence between us stretched on, thick and suffocating. She kept apologizing, her voice filled with regret, but I couldn't hear it. My mind was spiraling. I loved her. I wanted to believe this was a mistake, but the truth was as clear as day. She had betrayed me. She had kissed another man, and worse, she had slept with him. Did you sleep with him? I asked, though the words felt like acid in my mouth. Tell me the truth. The tears continued to fall as she finally admitted it. I was confused. I thought this admission would give me peace, but it didn't. It only made everything worse. I'm so sorry, she said. I stood there, my entire world collapsing around me. She had slept with him. She had been in his arms the way she was supposed to be in mine. The betrayal was so deep, I didn't know how to breathe through the pain. Every memory, every moment we shared, now felt tainted. Why? I whispered, barely able to hold back my tears. Why did you do this? I don't know. I was lost. I was so lost, she replied, her voice breaking with every word. I couldn't stay there any longer. I couldn't look at her. Not like this. I need to go, I said, my voice shaking. I can't be here right now. I walked out of the room, my heart heavy, my chest tight. The woman I loved had betrayed me in the worst way possible, and there was no going back. No apology could undo the damage. As I stepped into the cold night, the truth hit me like a ton of bricks. The love we shared, the trust we built, it was gone. And sometimes, no matter how much you love someone, some things can't be fixed. Walking away from someone you once trusted, that's the hardest part.